and what's up? Today's video is all about how I sanitize my makeup product. Guys, washing your hand is the first line of defense before even you touch your client's face. And after I wash my hand properly, I make sure that I sanitize my hand the right way. I'm not just putting a little tiny drop and then just rubbing my hand and it's gone. I make sure to put a good amount and literally distribute in between my fingers and rub it all over my hand. I prefer to sanitize my hand in front of my clients. Don't assume that your client know that your hands are clean. Always, it's a good idea to sanitize your hands in front of your clients. I take the foundation always at the back of my hand. That's easy for me while I'm applying it on my client's face. And I always go back and forth as much as I need. Also, you can use a stainless steel plate. I use this brush to spread the foundation on my client's face. And after spreading the foundation evenly, I either go with the beauty blender or I use the foundation brush to blend the foundation. And again, the brushes are all clean, just with the running water and soap, and same goes with the beauty blender. I always like to keep extra beauty blenders in my bag in case you're doing multiple faces, or sometimes a beauty blender just dropped from your hand. It did right now. You can right away grab a clean one. After the foundation, moving towards the face powder, I just make sure that I keep some extra Kleenex or Bounty or a tissue roll in my bag, makeup bag, and I just fold it in like a square, or you can cut it in a square. And after folding it, I will just gonna make sure that I'm taking the first layer of the powder off so that the second layer will be obviously a clean layer. So I just make sure that I'm rubbing the first layer off before I put any product on my client face. And make sure you sanitize your products, not even just for your clients, but even if you're working on your friend or any family member you're doing a makeover for. Just make sure that your products are all sanitized and nicely clean so that nobody get any bacteria or get sick. After cleaning the powder, I just use a disposable sponge to apply the powder on my client face, or either I go with the brush. So it depends on the coverage, that what coverage I wanted to give on my client's face. And definitely after using this sponge, you don't have to put this back again in your bag. These are disposable, you just dispose it off. And also you can use a clean brush for the application. Here I'm showing you 3 different types of concealers. Whenever I have any one of these, how I clean them or how I use them on my client face. So if it's in a tube, I just squeeze it out a little bit on the back of my hand or on the stainless steel palette, whatever is available, and just work with that. When I'm working with the concealer like this one, which has a wand inside it, I again put the product at the back of my hand, and then I take the brush and apply it on my client's skin. And the same wand, like the concealer one, comes in a package also. I just ran out of these disposable wands. I usually use those ones. You can use those directly on your client's skin, but again, you cannot double dip. And here is the stainless steel spatula that I use for a concealer if it's in a pot or in a jar. And I make sure that I sanitize my stainless steel spatula so that it's nice and clean. So once it's sanitized, then I'm gonna dip it into my concealer and I'll just scrape a little bit of the product at the back of my hand. And you can go back and forth as much product as you want. But just make sure that you're not dipping your finger and brush in the pot. Just make sure anything that you have it in a jar, always practice to scrape it off at the back of your hand and then work with that. Never dip your brush or your finger in the jar. Same step I will gonna do with applying the gel eyeliner. I'm not dipping my brush directly into the jar. I'm using the spatula, and you don't have to have different spatulas for different products. You can always sanitize the spatula the same way that I did earlier, and just use the 70% alcohol because it kills all the bacteria in a couple of minutes and just evaporates. So I just use the brush and grab the product from the back of my hand and apply it on my client's skin. So with any powder products, if it's a bronzer or if it's for contour or blush, just scrape the first layer and then the new ones comes out and just work with that. Sanitizing is not that difficult. You just make sure that any powder products you're taking the first layer off before you apply it on your client's skin. And then with the jars, you are not double dipping or putting your fingers, you are just scraping it off. So simple. So with loose powder, I prefer not to put the brush directly into the jar. I take a little bit of the product in the lid and then just dip the brush and apply it on your client's skin. If you follow all these small hygiene steps, your clients will be your happy ones. Now I'm going to show you how I sanitize my sharpener and a pencil if you're working with a pencil on your client's skin. So I just spray on the sharpener, and just for the video I'm doing it right away, but you can just let it sit for 2 minutes so that everything evaporates and it leaves nice and clean. And then again I spray my pencil after I sharp to make sure there is no wood chip before it touches my client's eye and it's nice and smooth. In this video I did not show the eyeshadow palettes because if I'm working with, let's say, 2 or 3 colors, I will do the same thing that I showed you earlier with the powder products, that you just scrape the first layer. Before applying the lipstick on my client, I make sure that these are super clean. I sprayed the lipstick with the alcohol spray and let it sit for a couple of minutes and take the first layer off with a tissue paper. After I scrape the first layer with a tissue and I make sure that it's nice and super clean, you can directly go with this lipstick now, but I don't like to apply directly from the lipstick. So sometimes I take the lip brush and I just apply the brush directly on the lipstick, but again, that's not a good idea to do. Working in cosmetic and skincare industry from so many years, I have learned so many different techniques of sanitizing the products, but this is one of the favorite way of applying the lipstick when you're working with the client. So I just scrape a little bit of the product with the Q-tip and then I take my lip brush and apply it on my client. And it shows how careful you are when it comes to your client's hygiene. These tips are not only important for your client's hygiene but also helps build long-term relationship with them. Especially when you're working with a big crew or on sets and you're not sanitizing your products properly, no one will want to like to work with you. If you don't have the Q-tip, you can also work with the spatula. Just make sure that it's nice and sanitized. So you just scrape it a little bit and put it at the back of your hand, and then you can work with the brush. You can also leave the lipstick on the spatula. You don't need to put it at the back of your hand, and you can work with the brush from there. Now if you have a lipstick which has the wand like this, I take the product at the back of my hand and then I use the brush to apply it on my client. These wands come in a package and these are disposable also, but I just ran out of my disposable wands. So usually I use those wands and I dip it in my gloss and then I apply on my client, but you cannot double dip, you have to use a separate wand. Here I have a pack of disposable spoolies to apply mascara on my client. No one should use the mascara directly, and it's a great hygiene practice just to save the customer from the pink eye or any bacteria. Now here I'm using the lash applicator to hold and apply the lashes, and I use a Q-tip to apply the glue on the lash band. I have seen so many people applying the glue with their finger or directly with the bottle, which is not a great practice. We are all human, we do cough and sneeze, but if you can, do wash your hand in between the makeup and also sanitize your hands as many times as possible. Hope I almost covered everything, but if I missed anything and you wanted to know how to sanitize that specific product, do let me know in the comment section below and I would love to answer. Because I'm not doing a real lash application here, I did not cut the lashes, but it's always good to cut the lash before you apply the glue. This brings us to the end of the video, and if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. This is Lila signing off. Bye for now.